Hamadova runs across, gives a pass away, wraps, puts a fend on there, Claire Allen, and gets a lovely ball away to Mikhaltseva, who's been very dangerous so far with 7 tries in this tournament. There's a run now from Kazakova on the right-hand side, and Kazakova darts around that ruck. First points to Russia. Crabs across, and how about that for a short hit? What a run there from Serendina. Wowee, this is what they've been doing all tournament. Second try. One of the finalists for Player of the Year in the last season, and they're playing with the ball brilliantly, aren't they, Russia? That time, Scarrett there, and here's a chance for England, and it's Amy Wilson-Hardy. She's already scored 4 tries this tournament. She's going to make it 5. Lovely response, England. Slammed to the ground by Richardson, and I think Richardson has burgled the ball away as well. Well done, Alice Richardson. What more? And here's Helen Fisher. Has she got the wheels, or is Hamadova going to reel her in? She's done it. Scarrett trying to upset the ruck ball. Kudanova to Hamadova. Ball in one hand. Good pass away. Lovely in and out here. Here's some sheer pace footwork from Marina Petrova, the 26-year-old. Probably puts the nail in the coffin. Russia, a brilliant try in the end. We've seen them do this tournament. Wonderful, wonderful 5-pointer for them.
Chloe Dalton sends it high, and it's well weighted. Taking it right off the bat is Polite for Australia. So that a real feature of their game, the ability to rip possession right back via the boot. Here's Kaslik, who was impressive in the Cup quarter-final. She switches now to a flying Emma Ponagato, who goes the distance. Stutter step and eventually wrestled to the ground by Parry, who will get up, and that is wonderful work from Shannon Parry. Made the tackle, upped and went, and speaking of upping and going, say hello again to Emma Ponagato. Here comes try number 2. The Aussies are up by 12. Kaslik, nice long raking pass out to Turner. Turner spinning past one, spinning past another. Turner goes and slams it down. Australia up by 19. Here's Green winding up, and now clicks in a top gear, and Elliot Green, the green machine, is all business in the desert.
You're going over for the try there. On her head, Elia Green. She's been fantastic as we have a look at all the finals. And of course, the bowl final was played between Brazil and Japan. Plate final, well, a bit of a surprise that both of these teams are down here. Canada taking on New Zealand, but wow, that is going to be high class, entertainment city. And of course, the Cup final is Russia taking on Australia. Both teams have been standouts, no doubt about that. But before we get into the live action, let's enjoy some of the atmosphere happening here at Dubai Sevens. And of course, Q Cahill, this is your first Dubai Sevens. The parade's happening now. What do you make of it all?
Well, it's fantastic, Mel. I'm delighted to be here, I have to say. I mean, it's not just a celebration of rugby for the elite athletes representing their countries. It's all shapes and sizes, all standards, all around the ground here, out in the middle of the desert. I think that's what's really exciting for me. It just contributes to a carnival atmosphere because we have people here to watch the rugby and so many here to actually play the game itself. And, you know, World Rugby is trying to grow this sport. They're finding it very easy, I think, with the popularity of things at the moment, but an absolutely fantastic couple of days. From as far as the rugby has been concerned, the women's has produced some thrilling matches and some brilliant performances from countries that maybe we mightn't have expected. You mentioned New Zealand today having to contest the plate final. We didn't see that coming. Russia through to a final, and just so many shocks and surprises.
Thank you, Hugh. Let's have a listen to the national anthem. some wonderful creative scenes here at the Emirates Dubai Sevens, and plenty of action too. So let's firstly check out the bowl final between Brazil and Japan.
Second half underway, no score just yet after our first 7 minutes of play, and we know that Japan can manufacture some beautiful tries, and here they go through Suzuki, and she'll reload on the inside. She's a terrific little player, is Yoko Suzuki, and straight away better shape to the game, and the execution of the passes is much better, and this is going to be our first try of the game. Makiko Tomita, and it was worth the wait. That is a little beauty from the Japanese.
With the first score.
And again, well formed the Sakura Sevens, Japan. Nice shape and style of the game from those tap kicks and penalties. That's a lovely set of hands there from Keiko Kato, and this is going to be a terrific score. They are humming here, the Japanese. Going in is Mifuyu Koide. Thumbs up, team. That looked slick.
If only, you'd have been a genius, Sean Maloney, if that had come off.
Deserved winners of the bowl final, Japan. Welcome back to the HSBC Women's World Series.
Japan 13, Brazil 0.
So very shortly we're going to have two fantastic live finals for you on the main ground here. As we go back to the parade, Hugh Cahill, I've got to say, this is quite a festive atmosphere. I know you're a creative kind of guy, so what's your interpretation of what we're seeing?
Unfortunately, I didn't finish my modern dance college course, Mel, so my interpretation of this probably isn't going to be very accurate. I'm guessing something to do with rugby. Mind you, it's just been dropped in the middle, so yeah, some pretty entertaining stuff. Great to see so many kids involved. I think that's the main thing for me. You know, talk about growing this sport. There's examples of rugby sevens all around this ground, not just the international players, but the kids want to get involved. And I think to have them as part of this celebration is brilliant for the game.
Absolutely, and let's talk about the female involvement too. 47 women's teams in the invitational tournament for the rugby, so that's not even including HSBC World Rugby Women's Sevens series. Fantastic to see the improvement, and also your team, Ireland, they're now regulars in the women's series. Fantastic to have them here.
And it's going to grow the game in Ireland, I can guarantee you that. I mean, a lot of the players that are representing Ireland over the last couple of days are from Gaelic Games backgrounds, and they've chosen to represent their country, and there aren't any opportunities to do that in the GA in Ireland. So I think they can take a lot of inspiration for how they performed over the last couple of days, but over the next 4 tournaments as well. I mean, it's going to be a long season ahead. The Rio Olympic Games is going to be a massive advertisement for the game as well, and anything that helps to grow it, I think, can only be a good thing.
Thanks very much, Shu. It has been amazing. Over 100,000 visitors come here to the Dubai Rugby Sevens. They say 3,300 players all up, 250 teams. They're all on the backfields of this magnificent stadium, as you see also in the air there. They're putting it on for the crowd.
I think one of the things as well, Mel, has been, you know, the feature of this tournament has been the surprise and upsets. I mean, just when you think the world order is set in stone and you have your dominant teams, particularly in the women's game, we go and get a day full of shocks on day one. Fiji, the story yesterday. Russia as well have made it all the way to the final. And it just goes to show you a bit of hard work in the off-season, anything is possible. Still a full house, still enjoying all the festivities here. Different themes throughout the parade. And I can see a couple of skydivers as well coming into the stadium. That has to be a bit dangerous. You wonder, are they going to try and land in the centre of the pitch? One man who knows all about the centre of a rugby field is Sean Maloney. He's beside me.
Well, Hugh, what A wonderful spectacle has played out in front of us here in the desert, away from the centre of town as Aero Man makes his way in. What's the correct term? He's not parachuting, he's got the fan on the back.
Yeah, fan man, 1 and 2.
Fan man, that'll work. A lot of happy fans floating around the precinct too. For those of you who have not done Dubai, the Sevens here, it's just an absolute oasis in and amongst the sand, playing fields left and right, teams from all over the world playing in invitationals, and a real family vibe. Isn't that right, Hugh? So many smiling kids in and around the activations, all over the shop. So much fun.
Absolutely, and that's how it should be, you know, because you want to grow the game. This is the next generation to take it on, and if they're having fun, then they want to get involved. I was talking to a couple of friends of mine who are living in Dubai for the last couple of years, teaching over here. They left Ireland during the recession, and they plan this week every year. It's such a popular event to come out, you know, meet your friends, have a few drinks, beautiful sunshine. You're guaranteed the weather. You don't get this back in Ireland. I know you Aussies are used to it. I tell you, us pasty faces aren't.
No, it's the dry heat though. It's just so beautiful, particularly at this time of afternoon, twilight. The view from up there would be something special, looking back towards the marina and the bay. But we need to keep our eyes fixed front and centre here on the likes of Jen Kish and Sarah Goss as Canada and New Zealand line up for the plate final. The conditions are just magic for these two teams to go about their work. Valuable points on offer in this 5-leg HSBC World Rugby 7 series as the teams come on the field, and I'm now joined by ex-England international legend of the game in the UK, Sue Day. And Sue, who would have thought we would have seen New Zealand and Canada playing in the plate final?
Incredible, isn't it? Never before have one of them not got to the semis. Could easily be a final, this. Both of them hugely experienced playing in finals, so we're in for a treat.
And what a great opportunity for these two teams to showcase their ridiculous skill levels. They are so high, and they have been across all 12 teams, all 12 women's teams who have gone at it here in the sunshine across the last 2 days. Right there, Magali Harvey has been one of those. So our plate final is now underway via the boot of Harvey. She sends it up, and it's well weighted, giving Jen Kish a chance to push through, and coming away with it here is Paquin. Paquin, will this be a dream start from Canada? No! What about the try-saving tackle there from Gail Broughton?
Gail Broughton showing her pace. It is not very often that Paquin gets caught when she's got past the defence. There is the offload to Paquin. Paquin powering away, but Broughton just gets there. Bundles her into touch. Great tackle.
And again, high quality start. We've come to expect. Picked off at the front there by Canada though. So they remain with the ball as Kish is dropped centre field. 10 shy of the line. Harvey angling across the park and says to Paquin, how about another shot at it down the right-hand side this time? Getting around Portia Woodman though. Chuck onto Kish. Goes over the top of Fada Simpkins. Harvey dummying. Harvey bundled across the chalk. So the defence from New Zealand holding tough for the time being.
It really is. Some big hits have gone in from New Zealand. Gail Broughton's got through a fair share of work already. That time, Kelly Brazier, look at that. No possession whatsoever for New Zealand so far.
Again, good. Great work, in fact, at the front of the line. At that time, it was Russell going up, and here is Molesky pushing on. Harvey goes to the unmarked runner on the outside in the form of Kelly Russell. Juggles, then jams it down. Canada strike first.
She's chuckling away, Kelly Russell, because she knows how close she was to dropping that. Proper circus juggling act here. Magali Harvey plays the playmaker. Kelly Russell, the finisher there, nearly drops it, but she dots it down.
I don't think you'll find a more unconvincing put down from Kelly Russell. It matters not. There are 5 points against her name. She has the opening try in this plate final, and the extras are away. So the score remains Canada 5, New Zealand 0.
Yeah, they all count, don't they? One thing we haven't really talked about, the fact that Tyler Nathan Wong isn't on the pitch for New Zealand. That's 2 line-out throw-ins New Zealand have lost. They don't have their usual thrower into the line-out, and it's really telling at the moment.
Come on, Canada!
Harvey goes high again. Kish launches. Beat them all into touch. Brazier wants to go quickly. Woodman. Past 100 series tries earlier today. Portia Woodman, the number 11 for New Zealand. 100 5-pointers. Just sitting in behind there, Portia.
Phenomenal record, isn't it? Absolutely phenomenal. The speed, the pace to get those tries, but also the fitness, the consistency, outstanding.
She's a freakish athlete. Here's Portia Woodman.
Uncharacteristic from New Zealand, it's the kickoffs that are really putting them under pressure. That and the line-outs, of course, all the restarts. Ordinarily, you would expect New Zealand to take these kickoffs. They're not doing that, putting loads of pressure on them, giving Canada the ball.
Harvey, she'll have a little dip herself, but good tackle there from New Zealand, preventing that. They had players in motion left to right, Canada, but taking it on was Lucan, and now pilfering and turning over the ball is New Zealand, and they move away with Chubik. Goes to her skipper, Sarah Goss. Excellent defence, both teams thus far. They are not missing their shots. Back it comes from Fada Simpkins, and after being able to move it through the hands, they go downtown looking for Woodman. Back is Paquin. Woodman will scoop it up, and Woodman is going to come back. Knock on is the call there. I thought it might have been tapped back from Paquin, but there she is, up in lights, the reigning queen of World Rugby Sevens with 500 points. 500.
It's not a bad round number, that is it? It is absolutely phenomenal. Weren't sure if that was a knock-on, were we? But Portia Woodman didn't look too disgusted by the referee's call, so you imagine she got a little nudge on it. But it was an intelligent kick from Kelly Brazier, gave Portia Woodman a real chance.
Harvey. Brazier makes the tackle. There's the try scorer, Kelly Russell. Kish. It's great work there from Marchak. Woodman rushed up on the outside, and that enabled Harvey to go in behind and find Paquin. Now she was shut down right off the kickoff. Can they catch her this time? Oh, coming back is Woodman. Woodman on Paquin. Paquin packing plenty. Canada are in again.
You called it, Sean. It was Portia Woodman rushing out of the line that made that try for Canada. It gave them the extra player. Here, Gail Broughton's left with 2 to cover, and no one, not even Gail Broughton, can cover Paquin and Harvey, 2 of the fastest players on the field. A little bit of fancy footwork from Paquin. Portia Woodman desperately trying to catch her up. She cannot get there. Paquin, the determination on her face, takes it over the line. Dominant from Canada at the moment.
Indeed, it has been. They've had all the possession, all the territory, and they have all the points. Canada are up 12 points to 0. Far too much ball turned over by New Zealand, who haven't been at their best over the last couple of days. There's Kish racing through and slapping it back, and eventually it goes in a touch, but passed straight in a touch, and that will be a yellow card coming here. So the right refereeing decision made there by referee Ruster.
Just what Canada didn't need.
Goss comes to Fada Simpkins. Going to hold the ball up there for Lyle. He hasn't touched it, I think, in this first half. Goss around the corner, and now dumbing and getting. That's the initial tackle was Fada Simpkins. Jean Kish told her to park it. Chubi goes across to Brazier, and here comes Woodman. Brazier has Woodman to work with and won't need her. She'll slide in the corner for New Zealand's opening try in the plate final. 12-5, kick to come.
Yeah, you were saying a minute ago New Zealand haven't quite been at their best, but Kelly Brazier certainly have. That's that footwork. Look at it. It just confuses the defender. Molesky, Paquin, no idea where Kelly Brazier is going. Kelly Brazier knows exactly where she's going. That is over the try line for another brilliant try. Another brilliant try built on fantastic footwork.
Megan Lucan will be kicking herself for giving away the penalty that enabled New Zealand to launch that charge, and the kick is away. So half-time here in the plate final, and it is Canada leading New Zealand 12 points to 5.
Taking up time and space, working together. Okay? Didn't know that rule, now she does, okay? So I've got about a minute and she's back on, right? So we just got to play a little pendulum sweep, okay? But let's make sure on the Porsche side, they don't drop off too much. As soon as it starts coming that way, come up, that backside drops off a lot. We're not worried about their forwards on the backside, okay? Right, hard kick off, about possession, forward the breakdown, and black.
We're receiving.
Yeah, we're going to go.
Yeah. Black? You want black?
Let's look for a black on the catch, right?
Okay, Luke. Oh.
45 seconds, right?
Yeah,
So black on the catch, we get 4 there, right? Mags, you can see right away where they're not. So while that black's going on, look up where they're not, see if you can pound one. Or if it goes into touch, you see a kick for yourself, just make sure it's a long run, okay?
Let's
go, ladies.
Let's get Nathan to go for it, guys. Let's go. Team on 2, 1, 2. Team! Hot! Nate, we're not
Instructions are laid out by both coaches, speaking to Canadian coach John Tate after they progress to this plate final, and he says they have up to 7 players that he'd like to choose from of injury, and they've done well to make it this far, missing that kind of cattle.
They have the key ones, of course, Stacey, Landry, Farrell, those names that we all recognise who aren't here. New Zealand missing a few as well, of course. No Tony Hideme, no Tyler Nathan Wong for this game, at least. No Kayla McAllister, so a few short both teams. Maybe that's why they've ended up in the plate final.
And along there is Fada Simpkins. Harvey shows her feet at the line, but he's gobbled up fairly easily by the defence, and now they'll just muscle it for the moment. Marchak comes away with it, across to Kish. Slides past 1, 2, then pops the ball, but not ready for it. There was Molesky, so New Zealand will have the scrum feed.
Yeah, a little bit of possession finally for New Zealand at the end of that half and the beginning of this one.
Out it comes for New Zealand. Now with Niall Williams. Niall Williams delivers a Williams special. Forget Sonny Bill. Little sis has got game just as good.
How about that for your first ever World 7 Series, your first game in front of this many people? She pulls the defence in, Kish and Paquin, and then the round-the-back offload. How many times have we seen that from Sonny Bill? Shirei Tane just says thanks very much and dots it down over the line.
I just wonder if that's how they pass around the loaves of bread and the margarine at the kitchen table at home when they were growing up. It's ridiculous, the skills that the Williams have. Now the kick is on its way via Fata Simpkins. It's good. We're all locked up at 12 apiece thanks to Shirei Tane's try, but the work of Niall Williams got it happening.
And brave of Sean Horan, he's brought on Niall Williams, he's brought on Shirei Tane, giving the less experienced players experience in an environment like this, which will stand them in brilliant stead for the series, the matches, the big games to come.
Tap back there by Kelly Russell. So after making all the running early on, Canada now find themselves locked up after conceding 12 straight points, and New Zealand have just kind of found their groove here as the try scorer Tane takes play 25 out. There is Niall Williams. She's whacked that time, but was knocked on via a Canadian hand.
New Zealand maintain possession. Canada just can't get near the ball at the moment, getting through huge amounts of defence. We talked about the absences that Canada have. It's made a big difference to them. They've ended up now with Paquin on the wing, Kish at centre, Magali Harvey, who they'd want to be standing out there on the wing, and all sorts of space at half-back.
Back goes Brazier, and she stops, and then he's chopped beautifully by Harvey. After picking up around about 10 yards and after making the tackle, Harvey can't go again. She's throwing her hands in the air. It won't matter. Fata Simpkins has the try awarded. And for the first time in their plate final, New Zealand take the lead.
She's throwing her hands in the air because she tried to make the tackle and ended up taking the referee instead. Watch it here. She goes forward, tries to make the tackle, just trips over the referee, creating the space for Fata Simpkins. So you can see why Magali Harvey's frustrated. Good finish from Fata Simpkins. She can only play what's in front of her.
So perhaps a little bit of luck there for New Zealand, and they capitalise. The conversion goes right on through, and they have run up 19 straight to lead Canada by 7.
Canada just need to keep their composure. They've not done anything wrong, they just haven't had their hands on the ball. When New Zealand have their hands on the ball for long periods of possession, they're going to score. We know they're going to. Canada just need to get hold of the ball and have a go themselves. Plenty of time left yet in this game.
Fata Simpkins, that won't go 10, so they played on Canada rather than taking that free 10 metres and starting from the set piece. They'll have to work it from a lot further back. This is a nice run, beautiful run in fact coming from Molesky. She did them oh so easily. Molesky takes it to the house. We're going to be all locked up in just a tick.
Brilliant try, brilliant from Kayla McKeskey. We've been talking about Ashley Stacey not being here. We've been talking about Ghislaine Landry. Kayla Molesky more than making up for it. She did all the work herself there. Saw a little gap in front of her here. The ball comes to her. There's a dog leg from Gail Broughton. She powers through that and then gets the footwork out. Gail Broughton can't get to her. Kelly Brazier can't get to her. Kayla Molesky makes it to the try line. Brilliant stuff.
Oh yes, indeed. This has been a particularly high quality plate final between these two teams. Let's not forget, at 19 apiece, these are the World 1 and 2 ranked teams coming off the back of last year. So we're getting the kind of bang for buck that we'd hoped for.
Indeed, this is worthy of a final, isn't it? Worthy of the cup final.
So if we're all locked up, we'll go to extra time. Maybe Woodman doesn't want any part of that. She does well to free the pass. Woodman, if she's not scoring them, she's trying to set them up for a team as Ruby Tui is clobbered by Harvey, and now Canada win themselves a penalty.
Harvey has been brilliant in that sweeper role, hasn't she? The tackles that she's made, not relying on her pace in defence like some speedy players do, really getting up in the faces, making big hits, not allowing herself to be stepped. Brilliant hit, that one.
Tui looked to throw her off with the eyes darting left and right, and Harvey was having none of it. Now she'll jump onto attack. Paquin delays a pass, and Harvey gets past the couple, stands well, so unless we get a score here, we'll go to extra time, and that's exactly what Kayla Molesky wants with one of the more awkward kicks we've seen today. Don't worry about it, Kayla, it's in touch, and we're going to have ourselves a little bit of extra time.
Odd decision, that one, do you think? The ball's in play, you've got possession, you've got a chance to score before the final whistle.
So all locked up after 14 minutes of action, 19 apiece. We'll play 5 minutes each way of extra time, and it's golden point that we're kicking into here, so it doesn't matter what you grab as long as you get them, and get them first.
Yeah, the momentum was with Canada then, wasn't it? You think, keep hold of that ball, there's space, we've just turned it over the New Zealand defence, is tired, the New Zealand defence is disorganised, have a run at them. As it is, she's kicked the ball out, I suppose a chance to have a chat from the coach.
Let's go. Okay, that's
The team managers are the ones who...
Teacup.
dollar. Okay, okay, let's go. Get them on, please.
Okay, Mr. Ruster, no dramas. John Tate gives his team a couple of last-minute instructions. What do you prefer to do here, sir? Do you prefer to kick or receive?
I know you'd go for catching the kick-off. It means you've got possession. That said, New Zealand need to do it better than they've been doing it so far this game. Canada, I think, are aiming for anybody who isn't Sarah Goss on these kick-offs. But they're chasing very, very well, getting a lot of height on the kick-offs. Magali Harvey has been doing those so well. Huge moment.
Isn't it what? And how terrific for these women to be able to play it out in front of a huge crowd here that's building in Dubai. Having spoken to them, they love this tournament above all. Harvey. She'll come the way of Sarah Goss, and it'll just need to get going a touch. It does. That's not too bad a result for Canada. They'll be able to set the line out. Their line out has been a feature here so far. They've stolen the ball a couple of times off New Zealand without their ball thrower in the mix. So good chance here to launch higher through Kelly Russell.
New Zealand do. Portia Woodman lurking back out there on the wing. Gail Broughton, Kelly Brazier, lovely runners out wide.
Lovely throw too, finds Goss from Hunter Simpkins, and now she goes to Brazier, who goes back against the traffic, ducks under the tackle there of Marchuk, and manages to stand and release. Away we come now to Michaela Blyde. Across to Brazier. Brazier has gone past 1, 2, 3, and crucial ankle tap there from Harvey to shut her down. Here's Hunter Simpkins. Some tired legs. It's the 6th game of the weekend, and they are into extra time. A thrilling plate final. Blyde taps and goes quickly to Goss. Across to Brazier. Now Broughton, who has got electric feet. Has a runner outside, doesn't need. She's dancing. New Zealand are winners in extra time. They have won the plate final against Canada.
3 times New Zealand had a go to get it out wide. The first 2, Jen Kish stormed up at centre, so Kelly Brazier had to duck inside. Third time lucky for New Zealand. They get far better ball. The ball goes out to Gail Broughton. Nobody can defend her in that much space. The Gail Broughton super step comes out, and it's the winning try in Dubai. Very, very happy with that, Gail Broughton and Portia Woodman, aren't they?
Well, it's a shame we had to have a loser in this matchup because both teams have just been at their absolute peak. They've obviously fallen to the wrong side of the draw, but they've served us up a special 14 minutes plus change of action. Canada and New Zealand currently ranked 1 and 2 in the world, and it is the number 1 ranked team who win in extra time, 24 points to 19. As we get a quick look at how this one all unfolded via the match stats. Sude, so evenly matched.
Yeah, look, we know they're two evenly matched teams. Last season, Canada just started to dominate towards the end. Prior to that, it was New Zealand all the way through.
Let's get a word now with Rebecca Cox. He's alongside Sarah Goss.
Sarah, it wasn't the final you wanted, but happy to get the win there nonetheless.
Yeah, like I said, I was disappointed in what we did previous to this, but we won and we finished off a great day and a great tournament, so we're pretty happy to get the plate final.
Number 1 ranked team in the world, but didn't go all your way this weekend. What are the reasons for that, do you think?
I suppose there's plenty of reasons, but we've been working pretty hard and we're going to take some really good learnings going into summer. It's pretty good for us, and then we've got a lot to work on, and we'll come back bigger and stronger from here.
Well played. Go get your trophy. Thanks, Sarah.
Thanks, mate. Thanks.
Sarah Goss will scamper across the turf in the twilight here in the desert to wander on up with her team and grab their first bit of silverware for the season. Sao Paulo, their next stop. Up they come. New Zealand women's sevens team, winners of the plate final, and if that's their baseline for the remaining 4 legs, they are going to be hard to turn again.
They are. That was a good performance, wasn't it? In the end, they had to come back from behind, but there's always the belief with this New Zealand team. Sarah Goss, I thought, spoke really well there. It's always disappointing. They will be disappointed, but they've learnt a lot from this tournament about new players like Niall Williams, players like Michaela Blythe coming through, making that fast prop role her own.
And here they are, winners of the plate final in Dubai, New Zealand.
So we come to the 3rd, 4th place playoff, and England up against France. A long road for both teams to get to this stage, and 2 sides, well, that know each other really well at this stage. France well beaten by the mighty Australia in the semi-final. England losing out to the resurgent Russia. Well, this is the French starting team. Chloé Pell, Jennifer Trancy, Fourcade, Lisa Goussier, Horta and Grassino. That's what David Corté has gone with. England, on the other hand, surprising a couple of selection decisions with Simon Middleton. Burford, Fleetwood, Staniford, Richardson, Scarrett, Matthews and Watmore, which means, Sue, no place for Amy Wilson-Hardy, their top try scorer in the weekend, and Heather Fisher, a serious impact player as well.
Yeah, both teams doing that though. Both coaches, I think, just changing it up, giving the whole squad experience on this stage. Equally, France have on the bench Marjorie Maillan, Christelle Leduff, 2 really critical players for them. So it's about these occasions of giving your players experience.
And you just wonder how much the last match took it out of Leduff, one of the more senior players in the France squad. In fact, the oldest at 33 years in age. Grassino gets us underway, and Rachel Burford, the first take for England. Scarrett, Watmore switching back inside. Lovely little offload as well to the onrushing Fran Matthews. Whistle goes. First penalty is against England, though, not releasing on the ground. And France so good on the deck at getting their body position over the ball and forcing the turnover. And a little step on the outside. Just kept alive by Chloe Pell. Good hands to pick it up off the deck. And it's there again for Gustier to try and spin this one wide. The pass not particularly good, though. England up on a wall of white jerseys and trying to get their hands on it. Again, they got to move off quicker than that, and a penalty advantage against Vicky Fleetwood. Body position all wrong there. And France get a go again. Orta, little show and go from Orta. Needs a switch here, or does she? No, she's still going. Scarrett eventually gets hands on her. Inside the 22, lovely break. Blindside go for France. Pick and go. Lisa tries to present the ball back. England get the penalty. Again, not releasing. And it's mile-a-minute stuff in the third, fourth place playoff. Richardson brings play to the 22. Options really all on the right hand side for England, but they go blind, and that could be where the space is because France weren't expecting it, and referee says it went backwards, so play on. If that had gone to hand, England were away, but they still have possession. And France, their discipline a little bit suspect over the course of the last 2 days, has let them down at times. But they have possession here. England desperately trying to hang on. Dangerous position for the French. Guerrier back inside. Orta. Fanny Orta drifting across again. England's defence holding solid. Matthews with the tackle on that occasion. Slow ball coming back for France. Little show and the pass. Well, you can see that Chloe Pell tried to hang on to that one. Advantage to be played to England, and advantage is now over. And this bridge over the halfway line. Look at that. France desperate defending. It's a foot race, and Staniford looks like she's going to win it into the 22. And out of nothing, England strike for the first try.
Brilliant from Michaela Staniford. She hasn't played as much in this tournament as you'd always usually expect. 18th try in her career, so she has experience, but the ball comes loose. Staniford looks up, sees the French defence isn't organised. Of course it isn't, because the ball's just been turned over. Grassino, who has played a lot of rugby in this tournament, desperately trying to chase her down, can't get there. Brilliant finish from Michaela Staniford.
She did pick up a hand injury in the first game, and we haven't really seen her since then. That's why she might have the fresh legs, and that's why she wasn't afraid to run the length of the pitch. The conversion attempt off the post rattles them as well. So 5 points for England, and France, after all the attack in the first few minutes, so they leave with nothing. In fact, they're 5 down now.
England soaked up a lot of pressure, and that will have taken quite a bit out of their legs, but you can see Simon Middleton's planning, putting fresh legs on, worked out on that occasion. Alice Richardson won't be happy, however, to have not got the extra 2.
And that was a bruiser against Russia as well. You just don't know how much it took out of the England bodies, the players that started that game in the semi-final. France now having to regroup and try and get something going. The pass from Lissard doesn't go to hand, and England will get the scrum.
Breathless.
Yeah, let's just take a pause, shall we?
Maybe a little bit harder for them out on the pitch as England regrouped. Joanne Motwell, we can see running out to the wing. Hasn't had much possession in space, really, this tournament.
Ball fires out from the back. Matthews does well to get it away. Scarrett looks for Watmore on the wing. It's a one-on-one. Watmore might fancy her chance here to cut back inside and gets the pass to Scarrett, but the gadget arms let her down on that occasion, so couldn't hang on.
Very rare to see Emily Scarrett not take hold of the ball. Jo Watmore just manages to prise her arms loose enough to get this offload, having pulled both defenders in, but Emily Scarrett, a rare handling error from her. Wasn't quite expecting it.
2 minutes to play. France with the scrum, and well, Gustier just buying herself a few inches there. Tidy scrum. Orta. Let's play towards the 22. Gustier once more. Little grubber kick through. Well, nobody was on her wavelength, and she's just kicked possession away. And Watmore first there for England. Joanne Watmore trying to go on the outside. Good tackle. goes in from Grassino, and England can see the penalty, so maybe the kick wasn't such a bad idea after all.
England, the breakdown is what's really letting England down. What they haven't managed to do so well is when they get caught on their own, let go of possession, get up, pick the ball up and go, which we see a lot of the other teams do. And when they're not doing well is getting support to the breakdown. So you're right, in the end it looked like a poor kick from France, but it's worked out very well.
France trying to find a gap in the English line. You won't find it by drifting across the pitch though, and Fourcade put on her back, still with possession. Fanny Orta gives the pass away. Chloe Pell, long looping ball to the outside, makes the wraparound run, doesn't get the return though, and France still have it. This is dangerous for England. Still they keep it alive. Fanny Orta, the pass goes to hand. Chance here, surely Fourcade, just short. Wow. England get the penalty and they waste no time. Look at this, counter-attack, the name of the game for Simon Middleton's side. That's how they got their last try, and away they come through Vicky Fleetwood. Matthews again to keep it alive. England happy to just see where the gaps are. Scarrett with a bit of control from the feet, tries to break the line. Needs a support runner now though. Watmore's first there. Staniford digs one out. Fleetwood. Scarrett again. England have massive numbers left here. If they just look up and spread this one, Staniford maybe sees that. Now they come. One last attack before the end of the first half. And we're England to get a try. The pass is awful. There is the half-time whistle. So France with 90% of the territory, most of the attacking, but England have the only thing that counts, and that's 5 points on the scoreboard. Half-time, England 5, France 0.
Bon, juste fermer les intérieurs en défense, d'accord, et sachez lâcher les rucks. Quand elles prennent le milieu terrain, très vite, il faut que les moulines rappellent et qu'on rééquilibre, d'accord. Juste ça en défense, et fermer les intérieurs. Bien se parler, fermer.
Keep pushing forward, right? We're doing good because we're avoiding a lot of the contact area, right? So keep pulling out the contact, play away, offloads, keep tucking in behind to get up and keep momentum in the game, all right? If you get anything on the floor, they're going to be attacking. In D, pushing up on the edges, delay them with the passing, back yourself and you'll get some deep ball, yeah? So, attack, shift it away from the contact, quick into space, defence, keep pushing up on the edges.
So second half almost underway, just waiting for one of the players to be helped off with an injury just at the end of that first half. Didn't see exactly what happened, but let's have a look at the points on offer. Third place, and the winner of this match will get 16. Fourth will have to settle for 14. In terms of England, Sue, and you know you'd be better placed to judge than most, would Simon Middleton have been expecting a third place finish? Is that maybe exceeding expectations?
Well, it certainly matches anything that they managed last season, so whilst you're always aiming to win the tournament, I think he'll be pretty happy with that, yes.
Well, it's been a gruelling campaign for both teams. I mean, France, just the nature of how they play, so reliant on their physicality, their defence, as we saw against Fiji, like a watertight, the wall of blue every time Fiji tried to use that magic and flair that had served them so well on day one. They just ran into the French tackles time after time, and I wonder, did that sap the energy? They do have substitutions with plenty of ability on the bench though.
It's a really good point. Defence is such an important part of the games of both these teams. Disciplined defence, keeping the patterns, sucking the life out of the team you're playing against. What that does though is suck the life out of you a little bit as a team. It's hard work.
Let's go down to the sideline, and Rupert's there.
Thanks, guys. I've got Carl Tanana down here. Carl, 5-0 to England here. Another tight one in the women's draw.
Yeah, well, I've been really impressed with this French team. I mean, defensively they've been strong all day long, all tournament long, but this English side, I think, just the power that they have, I mean, they really are setting apart this third and fourth playoff.
You're really seeing the physical toll on these players, aren't you? The sixth game they played in 2 days in these very hot conditions, and it's really taking the toll on their players.
Yeah, and I think the skill level has gone up, so they play a very wide game now, the girls. You know, it's not so much the short channels anymore. So it is a lot of running, there's a lot of ground covered, you know, and as you'd expect, the levels with those skills, the fitness levels have to be there as well, regardless of those changes with the interchange.
Spoke to Sarah Goss earlier about after their plate final win, the New Zealand women. She said the problems they've had this weekend they can fix before Sao Paulo. Would you agree with that?
Oh, most definitely, you know, and I think the Aussies, if they haven't go past us, in the benchmark, and I just think with New Zealand girls, they're not together like some of these other squads at the moment, so they really need to get together and fix those things, but anything's fixable, you know. They'll be disappointed winning the plate for sure.
But we've seen a real improvement, haven't we, across all the teams, so-called second teams in this women's draw. What Fiji did yesterday, going for unbeaten, Russia beating New Zealand 33-7. What is the reason for that, do you think, Carl?
Well, I just think now these programs are all starting to realise that the Rio Olympics are the real deal, you know, and as you'd expect, with places like Russia, they've got the resources to be able to back their teams. You know, they've got the financial backing, so it's no coincidence that they're doing good now on the world stage. And Russia showed signs on last season's series that they're thereabouts, and now if they get their consistency, they're the real deal.
Just quickly, Russia against Aussies in the final. Who do you pick in the women?
I'd love, my heart says Russia, but I think my head has got to go with the Aussies.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers.
Yeah, thanks Rupert, thanks KT. Beautiful night, and we are almost set to get underway. Thankfully, injury, it looks like it's been taken care of. So England 5 points to the good, thanks to the try in the first half from Michaela Staniford. Breakaway try against the run of play, and France, for all their huffing and puffing, have not managed to bash down the England wall of defence.
They have not, and of course England threw away a really good chance at the end of that half. Will that prove significant?
Well, it looked like a touch came off one of the French players there, so it's going to be a line out. Did it go forward? But they should have the option of the scrum. I think they will. And it's going to be Fran Matthews to feed Stanford in there. Natural bird for the hooker.
The size differential in the back lines, you can't see it on your screen, but Horta and Graciano versus Scarrett and Watmore, each about a foot taller.
Let's see, can they make that count? Scarrett, crossfield run, has Watmore outside her. She's going to go it alone. Little switch back inside to Watmore. Surrounded by blue jerseys, though, as soon as she got that ball, taken by Richardson and kicked through by France. Troncy trying to get a second touch on it, and Matthews dives on it. Back for Watmore now. England, can they spread this ball wide? Staniford just delayed the pass slightly. Tackles have to be made. Wilson Hardy on the pitch in the second half, and no surprise to see her, Sue. Try machine over the last 2 days.
She is, but once again England losing it at the breakdown. How many times have we said that today? They have to put that right, England.
Is it the body position? Are they too high going into contact, do you think?
Too high and too late. They're just not reacting quick enough, because Simon Middleton's asking them to play an offloading game. They're expecting the offload. By the time they realise it's not coming, they're not adjusting quickly enough. They have to work that out. They're not used to playing the offloading game, so they're not used to adjusting to it.
Christelle Leduff, second half substitution for France. She has been their go-to player in this tournament at 33 years of age. I mean, people had been writing her off beforehand, saying, you know, she's just too old now to make a serious impression in this tournament. They were absolutely wrong in that, and here she is with a pass to try and set the backs going. Orta into the middle, taken off this time by Lissar. France keeping it alive. England trying to make those tackles. Troncy hits the ground. Scrap for the ball there, and again England in over the top of it. Good strength, you can see, by Richardson to hang on, but Leduff using her experience to get the ball to the back. Three of them out wide. Juggling with that ball. Did it go forward there? Looked like it did off Chloe Pell. Good spot for the referee. And we've got 4.5 minutes to play.
I think it went backwards, and the second time it went forward. I think Christelle Leduff would tell you if you're good enough, you're always young enough. She's proved that this tournament, really been pivotal for France, so no surprise they've brought her on in this game.
Ball off the English scrum. Scarrett opts to just pop it up towards Richardson, who decides no, enough is enough. Chases on for it. Watmore's after it. France are going to be careful here. Watmore maybe overcommitted herself. What a top tackle. Out of the Peter Stringer playbook, that one, I tell you. It was the only way he could bring down guys twice as hard, including the late great John Olomu. They will forget that one. France have possession. Little switch to keep it alive towards the halfway line. England better roll away and leave it at them. Chloe Pell acting as scrum half. Leduff with a little dummy, a second one, and not a third, because she was heading for that touchline. Watmore can't steal it. France still have it. And Christelle Leduff to feed the backs again. England defence holding tight. 3.5 minutes for France to get an equaliser. Looking for the inside ball, and Fourcade. Across comes Chloe Pell. England get the penalty. France going off their feet.
Yeah, this time it's France at the breakdown, sealing the ball off, not giving England a chance to compete for it. 3 minutes left, attritional battle between these two Northern Hemisphere teams. Who's got something left in the tank?
This is where the lactic acid starts to sting in the back of the legs, and all that effort over the last 2 days. Who wants this one more? It's third place, you might say. Big deal, but I tell you, try telling the players who are out on the pitch right now that this game doesn't matter. Christelle Leduff. There are just no holes in the England defence since the start of this game. Every tackle has to be made. Here is Fanny Orta trying to break through. The ball back inside. Is this it for France? Oh, can they hang on? Yes, they can! Wow! No, it's gone forward. It's gone forward. Referee, hands were out. The French thought they were in. Size of frustration on their part. Let's have a look again, Sue.
Yeah, touch and go, wasn't it? The tackle from Fran Matthews is a brilliant one because it went forward, then bounced off the England player, then she regathered it. That's why it's a knock-on. Good call from the referee, but I think in tackling with her face there, Alice Richardson, she's hurt. She's had a brilliant tournament. Her cover tackling has been phenomenal.
On come the cavalry for both teams. Claire Allen, Katie McLean and Heather Fisher for England. You can see Amile Meillat also in, and Goulion. Coke in the eye, I think, for Fleetwood there, so that's the last action for her. And let's see what the fresh legs can do. England are going to have to put into the scrum well inside their own 22, and 2.5 minutes left to play.
Yeah, will they put boot to ball here, England? I think I probably would. Tired legs out there. It's Alice Richardson that came off, by the way, with the poke in the eye. Katie McLean's come on for her.
Here's McLean. Watmore took her back inside. They didn't take the advice to and almost made the pay for it there. They have been made because they've given away the penalty. Well, you wonder about that decision. So many wise heads there. Scarrett surely needed to dictate, but France have another chance. Mayenne is only just on the pitch. The sweeping pass on the outside, shipped on. Oh, is that forward? Referee says yes. What an opportunity for the French. Criminal mistake there, Sue.
It's because she was trying to make the pass as quickly as possible, wasn't it? Claire Allen bearing down on her, much like the Rachel Burford effort for England in the first half, when it looked like all that had to happen was a good pass to go to hand. But the chance has gone begging. Is that going to be what saves England? And are they going to kick it this time? That's my question to you, Hugh.
Well, you'd have to say that would be the right thing to do. Just get territory, relieve a bit of pressure from yourself, come up in the wall.
And especially when England's breakdown work has been so average.
They're running it though. Maybe that's why we're not. Well, you were. Ball down for England. France trying to do their best to steal it. Look at that. Brilliant strength. They've turned it over. Mayenne. Is this the last chance for the French inside the final minutes? Going for the corner. Where's the switch? There it is. The
breakdown 5 metres from their try line. Brilliant work from France at the breakdown. Brilliant work from Horta and Grassino. Such a good combination. Grassino, we're talking about fresh legs. She has been on the pitch for pretty much every single minute of France's tournament.
Here's the kick to win it. Christelle Leduff. I tell you what, on the basis of her last 2 days, she deserves to get this kick. She's been brilliant for France. A clean strike needed here to win it. No way, not a chance. Never caught it cleanly. There's the hooter. Do we have time for one last play? We do. France have to regroup. They say you're most vulnerable just after you score. We've seen it time and time again.
I think you're most vulnerable when your lungs are bursting at the end of a sevens game. It's just whoever can keep their heads here.
The Duff flirts with the touchline. It's gone over. They're going back to the middle for a scrum.
Tap and give it
tap
to
and
Amy
go, I should
Wilson
say.
Hardy. That would be my advice here.
Last chance saloon.
And if you're England, don't create any breakdowns.
What have England got left? Fresh legs on. McLean is one of them. She's one of them. And trying to go on the outside. Needs help. Or does she? Eventually brought down. Leduff is in on top of it. Penalty conceded though by the French 33-year-old. And England wasting no time. Tap and go. A try would win it. Stanford back on the field. What more? Burford, a wall of blue in front of her. England need to keep this ball. What's the referee say? Play on. What more again? Chance for Wilson Hardy. So many tries. There's the offload available. She could get the hands free, but no. Brilliant tackle, choke tackle. It had to be. England still have it, but they're going backwards at a rate of knots now, and they look absolutely exhausted. They might have to flip a coin if they can't play extra time here. Both teams out on their feet. Here is Fisher. She should have full of energy. The pass on the outside, Wilson Hardy. Any room to manoeuvre? Not a lot, but she stays in play. And what more to act as scrum half? Slow pass from her. McLean. Stanford. Again, France, all they can do is keep making those tackles. And now the penalty against England for not releasing. Drama at the end of this game. The end of a long tournament for both teams. Leduff, no room there. Back she comes and kicks it away. Is this going to go out? Awkward looking bounce. Well, there's the full-time whistle. Sue, what an effort from both teams.
You can see the energy. It's just so energy-sapping, these matches. Both teams now making slightly poor decisions, not making the decisions they would ordinarily make, and not having the gas in their legs to finish it off when there's a little bit of space.
So we go to a golden score and 5 minutes extra time in each half. Coin toss in the middle.
Me. On tape. On tape. On reçoit. On reçoit.
Johnny ought to make a decision. Which way do you want to play? Up or down? Make a decision. It's getting dark, Sue.
I don't think they're quite communicating with each other, referee and both players. Emily Scarrett's not understanding.
Well, that was complicated.
The brain cells are not working quite as quickly at this point in a sevens tournament as they are at the start.
So, more extra time to decide this one. Third and fourth place is what's at stake in England. Going to play from left to right as we look on it. This is where the substitutions come into their own, I suppose.
It certainly is. Both teams seem to think they're receiving the kick-off. Now England, they're going to take the kick, and of course England's best technician at the kick-off and getting the ball back, Emily Scarrett off the pitch now. All down to Joe Watmore to try and get this ball back for England.
So Watmore will give chase on the far touchline. McLean needs to be accurate in France, getting ready to receive. First score will win it, any score whatsoever. Sweet Caroline rings out around the stadium here in Dubai. Women's final to come, and of course the conclusion of the men's as well. Fisher trying to dig it out, whistle's gone, penalty against France, quick tap and go. Watmore waits for nobody and has a bit of support. McLean, little step off her right foot, and the support line from Watmore. Anybody else there? Claire Allen goes in. France on the ground trying to wrestle it back. It's come loose and France have come away with it. England again at the breakdown every time. When they need composure and they need numbers committed doing the right things, so they seem to cough it up.
Yeah, they have to work on their breakdown work, England. It's so clear that they're just coughing the ball up every time at the breakdown, and it's exhausting.
French fans in the audience look on, and they're going to have a line out just over the halfway line. Allez les Bleus.
I remember this time last year, the plate final it was, England against Fiji. It went to extra time. Both teams pretty much out on their feet, and it was the team left standing really, which was England that day, that won it. It's going to be the team with just that little bit of gas left in the tank that wins this.
Christelle Ledoux to throw, goes to the back. That wasn't straight, and the referee agrees, so we'll go back for the scrum.
Yeah, definitely not straight. England haven't run wide off a line-out move all tournament. You imagine they run Joe and Watmore back into traffic here. That's what they've done, or indeed off scrummage. It's what they've done all tournament. The only thing is, if they do that, could they win the breakdown?
That's the question, isn't it? And England with to put it on the halfway line. One break, Phil is going to win this. One mistake in defence. Watmore straight into the French tackle. There's the kick and chase now. Who's got the feet to win this one? I think France are going to get there. Grassino goes back, the try scorer picks it up off the ground, and look at that, it's over, carried over. It has to be a 5-metre scrum for England. It is, and surely this is the moment. Massive chance for them now to go win this.
Yeah, excellent kick placement. Great decision finally from England to kick. They're listening, get the ball down there. Very good chase. It was Claire Allen that got there on the end of that kick. Claire Allen has put in so much graft for England. She's never one that gets the glory, but she's the one that chased that down, made the tackle with Joanne Watmore, got England that scrummage.
Well, they're going to push for the try here. Any points will do. Got to win the scrum. There's the ball out. Taken by McLean, who went backwards though. Not the cleanest. Oh, shambles of a scrum. Shambles for England. Did go forward off a French hand, and they'll get another chance.
It's the tiredness now, isn't it? The skill level really dropping. England fortunate, France got a hand to it. First, another chance, but from further out for England. French must be exhausted from all this defending.
4 errors for England, 10 for France. And they have to try and find energy from somewhere. 90 seconds to play at the end of this first half of extra time. Any score will win it. England with possession. Slightly better scrum. McLean caught between two minds there, tries to break the tackle. Off to Watmore. Again, she tries the handoff, and she's still going. Joanne Watmore, another handoff, and the pop pass. Desperate defending from France. Ledoux trying to steal. Good clear out at the breakdown. Staniford just about held on to that one. Across the field she goes, into a wall of trouble. Just needs some composure here. Somebody to settle things down. Watmore again. Little show. Claire Allen gives the pass away to Wilson Hardy. Back at her feet, Allen once more. France in over the top of it. Pick off the deck, McLean. No room through the middle. Pass again. 30 seconds left to play at the end of the first half. Still no score in extra time. And England with all the chances at the moment, France just, they won't give up, will they?
Immense defence from France. Absolutely immense. How England have not managed to get through with all of this possession. Quite phenomenal.
Tap and go for England. McLean, little interchange. Any gaps in that French defence? Staniford scored the first try. Watmore turns to get her body position right. There's the hooter for half-time. Fisher wants a runner decoy. McLean, little step off her foot. McLean gives the pass to Fisher. Fisher for the corner. Fisher to win it for England. Oh yes! Finally, we get a score, and no one less deserving than Heather Fisher.
Goodness me, it was a long time coming. The French defence phenomenal. Finally, England managed to stretch them one leg, stretch them back the other. Katie McLean, the first step, hands it back to Heather Fisher, who she got the ball from in the first place. Then Fisher pins her ears back, powers over the line. She's been out of the game for a long time, come back strongly this tournament. She and her teammates will be so pleased with that brilliant finish from Heather Fisher. Exhaustion and elation in equal measures.
So Fisher's try wins it in extra time for England. It finishes England 10, France 5.
Okay, after a run of thrilling games here in the desert in Dubai, it is time to decide the Cup champion, and it is Russia and Australia next up. Australia lead overall 7-2 in the HSBC Women's 7 Series, and Melody Robinson, this game is so evenly matched up.
It's crazy because both of these teams have been outstanding throughout the tournament, unbeaten. Russia, you know, you could argue they're the surprise side. They took out New Zealand on day one in a record defeat. They've been outstanding in the fact that they love to attack, they run across the field, they're unorthodox, whereas Australia, everything they've done is textbook. They don't make errors, and they're so dangerous across the park.
As both teams move past the silverware that's on offer in the twilight here in the desert, is going to be a cracking final as both teams line up for the anthems. We're going to lead off with the Australian national anthem. Passion is the word that springs to mind, and we saw plenty of it out of Russia there. Wow. Well, everyone is just in awe of that anthem. It just is. Well, I've never heard anything like it. It was beautiful.
It was stunning. So much joy on their faces, the smiles, the laughter. Out there to enjoy it, both teams.
Jessica Beard, our match official. Oh, it is all laid out ahead of us, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Hello to you watching on via Fox Sports back in Australia in the early hours of the morning. There is Wallamina, the mascot. Will Wallamina be held aloft at the end of this one? Let's find out. Time to get it done in the desert. Russia v Australia, this, the cup final. And a great carry off the kickoff from Seredina from Russia. And floating it long, across it comes there to Mikhaltsova. Digging out there is Kazakova. Penalty advantage coming here as Perestiak locks and loads and goes again, and taking it for a dart there is Seredina. So advantage over, ball with Australia. Now their chance to counter via Cherry. She's fairly well marked up and defended. She comes left and goes back to Turner. Turner dummies. Turner gets her nose behind the line and then is hit hard on halfway by Kudanova. Australia recycle well though, and now it's with Quirk across to Tonagato. Tonagato has been a prolific try scorer here in Dubai across the last 2 days. Cherry. Good Russian defence. Cherry again. Now the parry. Over it goes there to Turner once more. Who's hard as nails and hard to bring down, and got past two and now places nicely. And the advantage coming for Australia as they build slowly early on here against Russia. Playing in their first ever cup final. There is Quirk taking the ball and switching. Great interchange of passes here as Polite pushes off one. Dropped just inside the 22, and they give away they're not releasing Mel Robinson. Welcome to you.
Thank you very much, referee Jess Beard, showing her intention. She will not tolerate players guarding the ball with their body when they go down the tackle. Fascinating there, because the pattern Australia is playing is quite a bit different from what we've seen during this tournament. Usually they go wide. Right now they're attacking through the middle. They've obviously ID'd some kind of weakness in the Russian defence.
And Chloe Dalton's absence as well. They've lost Chloe Dalton and Shani Williams have Australia two key players, particularly Chloe Dalton. She's done herself a mischief, a recurring injury on her left arm. She's had all sorts of troubles with it. She's broken it a couple of times and unfortunately will play no part in this final. But she's so key in so many areas, Chloe Dalton.
Look, it's the kickoff for me. She gives them a huge advantage when they attack the kickoff. She puts it high in the air. When you saw Cherry kick it off before, it was a little bit flat. But hey, this is a great Australian outfit.
Here comes Australia via Quirk. The ball goes long to Tonagato. Tonagato! Too short. Great cover defence there from Russia. Parry winding up. And again, they concede the penalty with ball in hand. And now the piggyback, not back the 10.
Just see how Russia crab across the field there. That's how they often attack, because they're very quick. If Australia keep pushing up their defence, keeping everybody in line, and don't take that fake runner, they should be able to counter that.
Had a nice run from Kazakova, who's been excellent here in the UAE. And now they switch, and some good pace on show here from Seredina. On the second go, Kazlik brings it down. Seredina pops nicely. That's to come it over. Geez, Peristiak, that's a good line too from Kudanova, but Elite was up to it, and now they just put a little pressure on at the breakdown and win the penalty, the Australians.
Yeah, you just saw the number 5 there, Hamadova, standing off instead of helping out Kudanova there, who you can see on screen. She needed to get her body position low, Hamadova, get over that ball and protect it. There he is.
Pavel Baranovsky. Here's Cherry. Cherry switching to Tonagato and gets strongly there in the tackle. So the defence from both teams right up to the task through 5 minutes of action in the cup final. And a big hit coming, that was caught out of the hand. No, play on is the call, and Parry's just going to keep trucking. Shannon Parry just brought down, needs help. I don't know how she's ended up there, but has done well to place, recycle. Now Australia will try and pinch it. No. It's a remarkable turn there. It must have been knocked backwards out of the hand of one of the Russians to let Parry scoot away, but for all money from the naked eye, it looked like Australia had knocked on.
Yeah, and Jess Beard had just put her hand out. She might not have said anything, but I think that the Russian defenders stopped because they thought she'd given them the advantage.
Hamadova. Oh, that's excellent work there from Quirk to read the play, intercepts the ball, and now Cherry, she's hit from the blind side, but they were offside, were Russia, so Australia will settle now. The key players, particularly Shani Williams, and in the starting lineup, so now led by Shan Parry. Missing experience, but they've got some class in the form of Kaslik and Quirk. Switching there to Polito, back to Kaslik. She can slice and dice, and so too can Cherry. The advantage coming. Penalties being conceded by both teams here. Rush the Quirk. Quirk holds up the pass there. Great pick up from Turner. Quick recycle. Polite. Oh, she's just a foot short. Needs help. Won't get it. Russia pounce. Peristiak was the one who snatched it away, and now they kick down the park. It's a good chase on, but Tonagato has what's required in the gas department to get back, and now she goes back the other direction. Runners to her right, but she's going to steer to the left. Tonagato finds Cherry. Now they rip right. Exhaustive stuff from both teams. Polite across to Turner. Turner opens up. Turner has the first try in the cup final.
So many fantastic elements to that try. Turner outstanding a couple of times in that movement. Firstly, her amazing hands that she had at the beginning, and then holding her width because she knows that her teammates have got beautiful wide passes. Look at that, runs onto it, and Kudanova just can't quite get there, and Australia take first blood.
She's such a no-nonsense type of woman, but is extremely skilled on the park, hard in contact, can move quickly, and she has struck first for her country.
The wonderful thing about Amy Turner is usually we don't get to see her start because of the dominance of Shani Williams and Shannon Parry, but in this tournament she's stepped up, she's making that position hers. What an impact she's had.
Pass is completed 40-17 in favour of Australia, but Russian defence, every turn as bar one has managed to send Australia back. Colbeck goes deep and knocked on there. Oh, that's not what we've come used to seeing out of Kudanova this weekend.
And guess what? Who would expect Australia to kick it so deep? They haven't been doing that the entire tournament. They caught Kudanova a little bit not ready for it, was she? She's usually absolutely on the money. Probably needed just to put her body to the side slightly. Maybe she looked up thinking about the attack she was going to run.
Here comes Quirk. Beck goes to the speed machine. Elliot Green pops! Oh, yes! Green to Beck. Beck plants it down, and Australia go bang, bang. They're up by 10.
Well, how do you stop Elliot Green? She's come in as the super sub off the bench. And look at the strength. She just palms off the Russian winger, still manages to get her hand free and just pop it up. And Beck on that perfect support line on the inside. And gee, I tell you what, Tim Walsh is using his bench very well, bringing on the fresh legs in this final.
Let's see if Nicole Beck can put a little sugar on it from out wide, chasing the extra 2. She struck it sweetly. It's hit the top of the post and no good. So 10-0, the score remains. All smiles is our mascot. Geez, had that planted on all weekend. Who would have thought that, Mel? There she is, the try scorer. Beck from Wollongong on New South Wales South Coast. The only mother in the team. Number 1, isn't it?
Well, that means she can take pain, Shawnee.
I'll take your word for it. Deep again is the play from Beck. Now they'll zoom up in defence and look to shut down this dangerous Russian team. Hammered over. From Kazakova, and this could be key as they just delay the passes. Switch and breaking clear beautifully is Mikoltsova goes all the way in the shadows of half-time. That's a big play from Russia.
Well, she got married over the summer. She used to be known as Bogacheva Mikoltsova. She has been the weapon out wide for Russia in this tournament. She's having an outstanding Dubai Sevens. So fast, so fit, pounced.
Good, they're on the scoreboard, following the try there of Mikoltsova half time. Thanks to Mikoltsova. The put down. Russia are right back in this one. The half-time score in our cup final sees Australia leading Russia 10 points to 7.
Сейчас самое главное, вот вас требует защита. Они играют в огромной глубине. Как можно быстрее отращивать, когда происходит, побежать, край, внутренние игрока начинают желать. Они просто несут глубину. Понимаете? Надо мощный захват. А так, то, что делаете правильно. Вы только попытаетесь сыграть. Или пасы, спины. Проводите все в край. Назад, это ровно минуту. Если не просыпаешься, Кукина выходит вместо Казаковой, вместо Бальза. Встаем в центр, Казакова становится.
Россия! Девочки, давай, блядь! 1, 2, 3!
Australia is such a wonderful sevens team to watch. They were champions here in Dubai 2 years ago, missed out by a second try to New Zealand last year. They've got the experience, and because of this team's success, great to see that the numbers of women's registered players in Australia had doubled over the last 12 months, and that is fantastic news.
Just 3 points in it between Russia and Australia. Cup final in our first leg of the HSBC Women's 7 Series. Caslick bullets a pass there to the standing captain. Shannon Shapes across the park, and he's ripped into the turf by Quirk from behind. Asking the 11 of Russia, Seredina, to take the inside channel, and she obliges and takes some valuable meters, and Russia are hot on attack here as Kazakova takes play just short of the line. They pick and go quick. Russia are in through Petrova. They take the lead for the first time in the cup final. Patient build-up brings a big result.
It all started from a very direct run up the middle of the paddock from Seredina, and then Petrova, well, she looked up, she knew there was no defence on the right-hand side of that ruck because Ellia Green was still in it, and she's quick. Scored a couple of those ones this weekend. Makes this game extremely interesting now.
So looking at going through the conversion is Seredina from the touchline, and it'll miss. So just the 2 points in it, and Russia lead Australia 12 points to 10. Some happy campers there. Melody Robinson.
Why wouldn't you be? 2 by 7, something for everybody.
Get ugly for Nicole Beck, can't trouble her though, and now reaching up and pulling it in is Quirk across to Elliot Green, who's just going to go foot to the floor. Here goes the Green machine. She's all tuned up and flying is Elliot Green. Australia retake the lead.
Russia had no chance there, did they? Because Ellia Green, she was a track star in her youth. Kaslik and co know how dangerous she is out there. It was Kazakova, who's no slouch herself, who was trying to chase her down, but Green got a bit of a sniff for the try line. And wowee, looking around.
Cup quarter final against New Zealand, where she got round the reigning queen of World Rugby Sevens, Portia Woodman. Now Green and her teammates are going to have to do a little defending, as going back and making a tackle is Quirk, so fit, Alicia Quirk, and somehow it'll come away for Australia. In fact, I get the penalty for Russia holding on.
Yeah, that was Kaslik, that one. Give her a pat on the back, attack the ruck, was on her feet. Seredina slightly isolated.
Some holes starting to open up here for Australia as Polite dances past one, dances past another, gets the fend working too. She's had a tournament to remember, Barney Polite. Parry, that's a dangerous pass across to Cherry, and let's see how Green goes on the second swing at it. Green now goes back inside to Cherry. Brilliant work on the inside from M. Cherry, and Australia have hit back, and they've hit back hard.
Looking very good now, Australia, aren't they? Green on the outside. Have a look at this. ID'd, space. Seredina tried to chase. Sweeper comes over for Russia. Cherry was the support on the inside. Looking slick. and looking very dominant at this point.
Well, they've clearly been stung into action after that try. Scored just after half-time by Russia. Let's get a look at the all-time tries to Australia, as our director Stu tells me to say cherry on top. One of his best. I like how he saves his good stuff for the finals.
You're the one that said it.
No, he pays the wages, I think. Cherry. Now down to Turner. So 3:47 to run. Australia up by 12, and now they can just take their time, go about their work. Caslick ghosting through. Caslick gets past one, then two, then shoots it back off the deck. Parry swoops. Now switching to Polite. Whoa, you've got to bring your game to be a champion. And that's exactly what Australia have done in the cup final.
So many numbers available, so many ball players. Running across, of course, was Quirk. And back on the inside, Polite, we know about her footwork. And obviously, her work rate's huge as well. Just across the park, they're so balanced, this Australian team.
Barney Polite has had a couple of days to remember. She has been awesome for Australia, as has the standing skipper Shan Parry there on screen. Gets a hug from the incumbent. A couple of injured players there, Chloe Dalton as well, with a bionic left arm, which she'll need one soon.
Well, they've done everything, Australia. They've gone out and ridden the buggies on the sand dunes. They've had some rides on the camels, and now it looks like they could be Dubai champions again.
Polite on that occasion goes up, is tackled in the air.
Yep, the game just getting away from Russia. Everything breaking down, communication, not getting enough of the possession. And that's just finals experience, really. They were right in there at half-time. They needed to try and foot it with Australia. The Aussies have been here, as I mentioned, a number of times, and they know what it takes.
Here goes Caslick. She finds her mark, and that's tap forward. There'll be some very, very happy faces back in Australia watching on via Fox Sports, no doubt about that. And their team are going to go through undefeated. They had a big scare against New Zealand earlier today. They were down 12-0 before clawing their way back, winning 15-12. So they've done it tough for large parts, and now they can just enjoy the moment, savour it here in the twilight in Dubai.
Absolutely.
Cherry across to Tonagato. Tonagato goes in and away and spills it at the last moment.
Good D there from Baistrova, because you know about Tonagato's speed. They're desperate. Round the legs, throws her over the sideline. Strike rate from Australia, 10-2.
Here the full-time hooter sound out. Just a matter now of whether or not Australia want to finish with a 5-pointer, or they're happy just to knock it in a touch and start doing handstands. How about 5 instead? They go out the back to Kazlik. Kazlik stands at the line, dummies, now finds Cherry again, already has the 1 try, and now shoots out the side. Russia in possession, getting there and holding the player up is Tonagato. Not releasing is the call, so perhaps it'll be Russia who can finish with a bit of pop. Knock back is the call there. Crosses Polite to make the covering tackle and makes it well. So they're chasing, they're on track rather, Australia, for their 2nd title here in Dubai. They love their time here in the United Arab Emirates. Polite says we'll go back to Alicia Quirk, and that will do us. Australia are winners of the Cup final. They are champions in the sand. Winners over Russia, 31 points to 12.
And didn't they do it with style, Sean? Because the story was all about coming back and then some wonderful tries. Great to see. Let's go downstairs and hear from one of the stars of the show.
Yeah, I'm with the Australian captain, Shannon Parry. Shannon, congratulations. You are the Dubai Sevens champions. How does that feel?
Very exciting. We've put in a lot of hard work in the pre-season, and it's very thankful that all the hard work's paid off. So very proud of my girls and our support team. We've put in a hard work in the pre-season and it's paid off, so very proud.
You had to take over the captaincy today after Shani got injured last night. Big responsibility, but must be very pleasing from a personal point of view for you as well.
Yeah, definitely. Like losing our captain, our big dog Shani Williams, was a big loss. But we knew as individuals, it doesn't matter who's got the city against their name. Everyone stepped up and everyone made wearing the Australian jersey very proud.
And you did it the hard way. You had to beat New Zealand first up this morning, and then France to get to the final, and then to knock over a red-hot Russian side. That was impressive stuff.
Yeah, definitely coming up against Kiwi is always a tough battle, Trans-Tasman rivalry. But the girls stuck it out. We were held onto the ball very well and just made it work. Same against France, and just top it off with a win against Russia. Very proud.
And it's the start of a long campaign, the road to Rio. To start with a win, that puts you in a very good place looking forward to the Olympics next year.
Yeah, definitely. As I said earlier, all the hard work's paid off. So good to start the season off with a win, but we've got a long World Series to go leading into the road to Rio.
Well, congratulations once again. Go and get your trophy.
Thank you very much, and to all the supporters at home, we love you and thank you so much for your support. Aussie Sevens.
Well done. Cheers.
It is a code that is gaining momentum very, very quickly in Australia, and well it might, because their team, their women, are amongst the best 3 teams in the world and are huge medal hopes at Rio. They are now champions here after the opening leg of the HSBC Women's 7 Series. And they are just a terrific group of human beings above all.
Absolutely. Really enjoyed watching them play. And there are the points they collect for this one. 20 at the top. Russia gets the 18. And New Zealand, who have won the Women's Series for the last 3 years in a row, down in 5th spot there, winning the plate. And there we go. Our HSBC player of the tournament is Nadezhda Kudnova. She was the player who basically led a lot of the attack and really controlled her team, the little captain. Fantastic attacker. Might not have got the opportunities in the final, but over the last 2 days has been absolutely outstanding.
Well, we have been treated to some very slick sevens play from the women here in the desert. And a huge run of upsets early on day one. Russia got that kick started, downing New Zealand. And then we had the emergence of Fijiana out of nowhere, who will be just a joy to watch in the coming 4 legs of the series.
I loved Fijiana because they played a different style, as did Russia, who, you know, have got so much speed. And as I said, they don't necessarily play structured sevens, but it's very entertaining. And that's seen not only Nadezhda Kudanova make our Dubai Dream Team for this tournament, but also Elena Mikultseva, their winger, who scored 8 tries for them here in Dubai and was a real weapon. One of the reasons really that they got to the final.
Despite going down, they are all smiles, and well, they might be. Well done, girls. Terrific effort, and just a couple of lapses after they led Australia in this final cost them the big prize, but they should be proud of what they've served up here.
And don't forget, they haven't qualified for the Olympics yet. Can you believe that? So they have to go to the repechage tournament. You know, you could argue that their biggest competition there might be Ireland and Spain, but if they continue this kind of form and don't get any injuries, you've got to see them at the Olympics, surely.
Sun has set, temperature just dropping to a very moderate 23 here. Rush will be able to celebrate, and so too will the Australians, led up there by Nicole Beck, holding the Australian flag. A couple of high fives on the way through.
And we've got 2 Aussies in our Dubai Dream Team too. Elliot Green, well, I guess that's not a surprise. But Amy Turner, for the first time, up in the front row, outstanding in every aspect. She's been classy. There she is there with a big ponytail.
Yeah, she was wonderful, absolutely wonderful. So going back to London, the last time that the Australian women's team stood atop as champions. And as we mentioned, for the second time in Dubai, they are winners. There's the injured captain, Shani Williams.
Well, Amina's got to get in on the photo too.
100%, no question. Here they are, folks. Your women's champions in Dubai, Australia. Nominee for the World Rugby Sevens Player of the Year, lost out to Portia Woodland, but that gap is closing so rapidly. There are so many stars across every one of the 12 teams who play in this series.
Well, that's been the highlight of this opening tournament for the women's series. We saw the gap close between many of the nations last year, even more so in this competition with the upset, 3 of them that started off day 1. But Australia, well, you'd be hard-pressed to say that they're not favourites to take out this year's series because they've been outstanding.
Well coached by Tim Walsh. Scott Bowen still has some input there as well. They are so well-rounded, and I think it's more the emergence and the confidence of some of those players, like Elliot Green, who were fringe players last year in some regards, in that they would come in and out of tournaments. Now she's a bona fide starter if required, and she can help Australia continue on their way. So there is another look at the World Series table. Great to see Ireland inject Japan. They gave us some superb moments, and United States, well, they did not have one of their better tournaments, sitting back there in 11th. New Zealand and Canada finished with a bit of pop, and England too had their flashes here. Alrighty, time to bust out the cameras, get set to get a memento. HSBC World Rugby Women's 7 Series, opening leg winners, Australia. And there goes a bit of boom boom to celebrate a terrific achievement Up they go, nice and high, like Australia for the moment at the top of the series table. And that is one leg down, 4 to go. And we'll see the women in action again in February in sunny Sao Paulo. Scenes as the fireworks ring out across the desert scape. It's been a superb tournament. This is the women's most favoured leg of the series. They get a chance to play in front of 30-odd thousand for the final. Why wouldn't you, when you can turn on the razzle and the dazzle the way they have across the last 2 days? Let's get a word now with the player of the final alongside the great Rupert Cox.
Yeah, I'm here with Ellia Green. Congratulations, Ellia, the HSBC player of the Cup final. That must be pretty exciting to win the event as well.
I can't believe it. The feeling is just incredible. The girls worked so hard. I was so unbelievably nervous, but when he put me on, I knew, had to do something special.
Certainly did. You scored a try running down there, which pretty much sealed the deal for Australia.
Oh yeah, look, the feeling that track, I love doing. And yeah, look, it's just unbelievable. And for the girls to kick off the season with a win.
Well, congratulations. Best of luck for the rest of the series.
Thanks so much.